Hey everybody, my name is Carolyn. So today I'm going to be talking about 6 different tips for people who suffer from dermatillomania. And if you don't know what dermatillomania is, I did another video on that, and I will link that above as well as down below in the description box, so check that out if you want to. But for now, let's go ahead and get into these tips. So my number one tip for people who suffer from dermatillomania is to keep your hands busy. Because if you're keeping your hands busy, then they're not going to be trying to find a place to pick on your skin. So the way in which you can do that is several different ways. One way to do this is always have something in your hands. So for example, you would always carry around a stress ball or a fidget spinner, or you can even have a pen that you can click on. I do that a lot when I'm on the computer. Since I have nothing to occupy my hands, I just go ahead and use a pen and click at it just to give me something to do while my mind is working on something else. So sometimes you kind of just want to relax and do nothing, like watch TV on the couch, but sometimes that can be really problemsome because you can get bored and then you can start finding places to pick. So one way to do that is, I personally like to do laundry while I'm watching TV. So it gives my hands something to do. I'm doing something productive, but I'm also relaxing and doing something I enjoy, like watching a TV show. Another thing that you can do is wear gloves while you're watching TV, and that helps you not pick, or if you are searching around, you're not going to be able to find any bumps. And if I'm wanting to relax but I have no laundry to do, I usually go ahead and grab an animal that they can just hang out with me, and then that way I can constantly pet them and show them love and attention, and that way they're benefiting because I'm giving them appreciation, and I'm benefiting from them because I'm keeping my hands busy. My number 2 tip is to avoid picking. And I know that sounds kind of crazy because of course we wouldn't pick if it was that easy, but if you follow tip number 1 to keep your hands busy, that's going to help you avoid picking. There's also different ways that you can avoid picking as well. One of these ways, if you are a female, then you can get fake nails, and I have heard that that will help you not pick so much because they're not as sharp and thin as your normal nails, so it's just honestly harder to pick. Another thing you can do is just honestly avoid mirrors. Don't look at yourself. If that's a trigger for you, is looking at yourself in the mirror, and that triggers you to pick, then just don't look in the mirror. Try to avoid it at all costs. You can also write yourself little notes on the mirror with an Expo marker. They come off really easily, and then you can just write really positive things or things to tell you what not to do. You could say, hey, stop picking, or hey, you are beautiful today. Either one that resonates with you is a great way to avoid picking and help give you that little reminder. This might not apply to everybody, but it applies to me and probably a lot of you. When I'm in the mirror, that is one of my triggers, just looking at myself and my face. So what I like to do is take off my contacts or glasses before I look in the mirror. That way I can't really see myself, and so it doesn't trigger me to want to pick at my skin because I can't see any of those imperfections. I also try to stay between like 2 feet away from the mirror because a lot of times I know that you get closer and closer to the mirror, and then the more imperfections you see, and in reality they're not really imperfections. It's just your mind playing tricks on you, and nobody else is going to see that. So my number 3 tip is set up a new ritual. So for a lot of dermatillomania sufferers, picking is sort of ritualistic. It can take hours and hours of your time. Your mind goes to a different place. It's calming. It relieves anxiety. So a good way to do that is to switch that out for something else. Something that can be a ritual that you do on a daily basis that is good for your health and takes your mind away from picking. And there is a lot of different things that you can do, and it's just going to depend on what you find to be anxiety relieving and what you see as self-care. So something like drawing, praying, doing yoga or exercises, all of those are great outlets to relieve stress, but to also be beneficial to you. Me personally, I like to have a skincare ritual, and I wrote a blog about how to create a skincare ritual, and I will link that up in the top corner as well as down below. But for me, having a skincare ritual is really important because if I pick at my skin, it is sort of, it's harmful to my skin, and so if I can alleviate that by adding in really good skincare, I'm showing myself self-love and also showing my skin some love as well. And so it changes your mindset from doing something destructive to your skin to giving your skin something that it needs and something that is loving. And so it's a really good way to help shift your mind and how you see yourself and how you treat yourself. Alright, and tip number 4 is to find the root cause. What are your triggers? What makes you want to pick more? For me personally, it's about anxiety and stress. Every time I'm super anxious or stressed out, I automatically find my hands just reaching for something to pick at. So now that I know that it's caused by anxiety and stress, once I'm getting anxious or stressed out, that way I can realize, hey, this is happening, I need to work on fixing this so that I can avoid picking. There is really a multitude of reasons why you would want to pick your skin and the triggers that you have. And some of them could be OCD, depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, situational anxiety. There's so many different things. So it's great for you as an exercise to, if you feel like you want to pick, just internally say, why do I want to pick? How am I feeling right now? And how can I help myself feel better? And tip number 5 is to take care of your skin. The more you take care of your skin, the more you're showing self-love to yourself, and it's a really good self-esteem booster as well as an anxiety and stress reliever. I would suggest using sunscreen every day because the sun can increase hyperpigmentation and redness. I would also suggest anyone who has dermatillomania to keep your skin super hydrated, because when it's hydrated, it's not going to flake, and I know that's a lot of triggers for some dermatillomania sufferers. The flakiness that you get around pimples that are drying out are really easy to pick, and that is a trigger. So if you keep them hydrated, you're going to reduce that flakiness and your skin will be much softer and there won't be as many bumps. My number 6 tip is to join a support group. So there's a lot of Facebook groups out there for dermatillomania sufferers. So find the one that resonates with you and then ask to join or join it. There are so many wonderful people on there that can help you and give you emotional support and not make you feel so alone. You can give tips to other people and be helpful to them as well. Alright guys, that is my 6 tips. I hope you found it helpful. If you are a dermatillomania sufferer and you have found things that help you not pick, then please let us know down below in the comments. Let's give each other help and support. And I just wanted to also mention that this condition does not define who you are. Giving it so much power over yourself is going to make it even worse. So know that you are beautiful, know that this condition does not define you, and that you are so much more than somebody who picks your skin. Alright guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and subscribe to see more. See you later. Bye.